Let's do one last thing before we jump into the other use case, which is the fact that our QA personnel is not going to sit empty-handed here. So let's say that the QA personnel as well is going to say update a corresponding rule. Let's update something that we know we have updated in the other use case as well. So in our total limit, which is a simple rule to check if this is less than 9,000, let me update this to 9,900 just to showcase that again. We're going to capture some changes and conflicts, and let's keep the test case as is. In fact, let's change this particular test case and let's call it customer rank order. We're not changing the actual order by condition. As a QA personnel, we believe it's correct. We're just going to rename this for another set of use cases. So let's give it a quick save right there. And now you'll see that again, there's a star mark right there and a star mark right here, indicating there are new changes which have not been synced with the repository yet. So what do we do now? Well, the first thing we have to do is go back to our diagram to illustrate what we are going to achieve. So now that we have our dev branch and say the developer is actually happy with all the changes and the pull request is approved. So let's simulate the pull request and associate our dev branch with the QA branch as well. For this, we're going to go into ADO once again. And in fact, before we get into ADO, there's one tiny thing that I've missed, which is, of course, pushing this to our expected branch. This is something that, again, we need to make sure. That's why we have a star right there, which illustrates that we are updating rule limit plus transformation logic. Again, Git messages are much more kind of comprehensive and have a lot more things usually associated with them. There we go. So now we have committed the changes into a dev branch. So now if I go back to my existing system and let's switch branches a little. I open a branch right here. Let's open up this particular branch. Oh, I would like to open the files. There we go. You'll see that our test cases have also been added, the new one as well as the update. So now what do? Well, we always have to do a pull request. That's our entire use case here. So let's do a pull request. We're going to pull dev into QA. And what we're also going to do, I think that's more or less it. So let's make sure we're going to pull them into QA. And I see there's a few use cases right there. And let's create this. There we go. Our pull request has been created. Now the only thing left to do is for an end user to come in and approve and complete it. So I'm just going to skip ahead that process and I'm click on complete. And I'm going to merge them directly. Again, you can choose what you want to do. I'm going to choose not to delete the dev branch as there could be other use cases I might want to do. So I click on complete merge right there. All right, there we go. The pull request has been updated. So if I go back to branches now, and if I go to QA branch, you'll see within the QA branch, these test cases have been added. We need to make sure that the same is reflected from our system as well. So we go ahead to Git. And now we're going to perform a pull. So when we're going to perform a pull, there's going to be a couple of things. As you can see, the one that's highlighted is as what we expect. So of course, there's a test case which was added specifically. And for one of them, we have a conflict. And here we see that the query specifically has been altered between our two systems. So now you get to choose what commits over what. So I can just close this right now. And I'm going to put a commit. And we're going to overwrite and commit this. And we're done. Now within our test cases, if I go back to this particular test case, you'll see that the query that we had worked with originally, that we had updated, is present right here. And of course, the same is true for the rule set that we were working with as well. Our subtotal limit check is as expected at 9,900. So that's basically what we wanted to cover. This is the key aspect of the fourth step, which is what we do after merging. And of course, if there are new changes in dev, or if you want to resync data sources, you have complete freedom to do that. And you can make as many branches of dev, of QA, and other aspects as well. So that was the basics of CI/CD in terms of how we can achieve through CI/CD. This is the main layout for that. Version control along with automation can really help boost the overall automation systems and efficiency of your end users as well as your QA personnel. So it really helps with that. So this was what we wanted to cover at the end, which is a sample use case of how we can commit changes to Git, how we can do pull requests, merge, how exactly the application deals with conflicts, how we can sync data sources across multiple users and systems as well.
For further questions, feel free to reach contact@datagaps.com. Request a free demo, scan the QR code below. Thank you.